Hi, welcome back to the Circular Coffee Club podcast. I'm Karen.
And I'm Paul. Today's episode, it's all about what's actually happening in the field.
The real wins, the surprises, the challenges, the stories that don't make into PowerPoint but make circularity real.
With us today are Saya and Siddharth.
My name is Siddharth, as you said. Happy to be here today. I lead global business development for circular economy, something that started in one country and I'm supposed to take it across the globe. Very happy to be here and quite an exciting topic and looking forward to next couple of minutes to talk about it.
And hi everyone, hello Karen and hello Paul, thanks for having me. I'm a circular leader responsible for developing the business of circularity with industrial clients in France, and very, very happy to be here and talk about circularity, a very interesting topic.
What's your favorite circularity story from Rio operations?
Well, favorite circular story, so it's a bit hard to pick one, but for sure, if I have to pick one of the favorite, it would be, cannot take the name of the customer, but it's a major customer of Schneider Electric, who we were working since quite some time. They belong to cloud and service provider industry. What happened? We engaged with them a couple of, years ago, and it's all started with circularity, what we do, we presented them, what are the impact and all, and they started with a firm no, that no way we are going to implement circularity in our operations. They had a lot of questions around second life equipment, specifically the reliability part of it, the approval, the technical validation. There were multiple aspects of circularity which was not clear initially, and it was like no. And it was roughly 1.5 years ago, one to 1.5 years ago, versus now when they have become one of our very strong advocate. So having with the customer from no to a very big resistance to a very big advocate of circularity is absolutely amazing. And how we did that? So it started. So initially everything was no, all right. So we started with a piece of circularity. So why don't we take one piece which is relatively simpler to execute, to see, and it is not something that would be critical for our customers. And starting from there and slowly building upon that was, I would say, a true key success factor. And today now they embrace the whole circularity, everything that we have. And they're also acting as our partners now. We are working on potentially co-developing a few solutions customized for them on circularity with carbon impact, and also one of the favorite stories, I would say. How about you, Saya?
Yeah, my favorite story is quite different and in a different context. It's about a company, and in my case, I can name the company. It's a company named Alpha Process. Alpha Process is a local partner based near the city of Clermont-Ferrand. It's in France. And it's a system integrator with 24 employees and part of the Schneider Electric System Integrator Alliance program. This company was convinced, it's very different from the example you gave just before, but the company was convinced by the importance of sustainability in general. So when we talked about the circular solutions that Schneider Electric provides, in fact, they immediately engaged. So very different. And for example, they already use the take-back solution that we provide, and which enables the collection of end-of-use equipment to give it a second chance, second life through refurbishing and repackaging.
I love how both of your stories highlighted something we don't always talk about. Circularity becomes real when it touches actual people, not just processes.
And what surprised me is how each of your stories reflects your scale of work. Together, they show how circularity moves from individual wins to consistent impact. What surprised you the most while working on it?
What surprised me is the way all the people, all the 24 employees across this company got involved. They got involved under the leadership of their CEO, of course, and the head of the CSR, But globally, everyone was involved, and it was really, really great to see that. And I think it shows that circularity is not only a topic for big companies, but for all, for everyone, for everybody. And I think that circularity provides really a strong and motivating sense of purpose within the company by giving teams the opportunity, by giving teams the possibility to contribute to a more sustainable model. Employees can see its real impact, and I think that strengthens their engagement, really.
Yeah. And I think the key point here is the ecosystem which you are trying to say, Zaya, right? The whole ecosystem needs to come together to make this a success. So if I tell you what surprised me most for that particular story, well, slightly similar, but the number of stakeholders, the width of stakeholders that had to be involved for that in that customer's organization to get circularity implemented within their operations. Usually, when we do sales, when we are even for the new offers, new products, new services, we have a defined customer persona who are more prominent, who are the decision makers versus influencers. It can be procurement team, it can be maintenance, it can be depending on what we are trying to sell, what they are buying. It can be that particular team or one or two teams. Here, for circularity, when they wanted to start, they wanted to buy for the first time. It's not just the procurement team, sustainability team at local level, at global level. Then it comes to the legal team to see if there's some legal issues because there are multiple aspects of circularity that needs to be taken care of. Then the quality team to have this quality validation. So it was quite, I won't say very much surprising, but quite interesting to see how many stakeholder has to be involved. We always think that it's quite a complex topic to develop. Yes, it is. It is complex topic for sure, and we try to make it as convenient and as easy for our customers to adapt. But when our customers and partners they are adapting it for the first time, when they're starting this circularity journey, it's quite complex from their end as well, and the whole ecosystem has to be from the customers end has to be involved as well. The good part was we were able to kind of uh, match so our sustainability team with their sustainability team from the legal perspective. Like we have developed couple of frameworks, couple of labels where we can differentiate a linear versus circular product. What was that? So we could be there with them throughout the journey, throughout all the stakeholders. So that was the good part of it. But yeah, a kind of bit of surprise for the first time when we saw that.
That's a really interesting angle. What you said shows how unpredictable the real world can be. Even when the circular concept is solid, the execution can take you into directions you didn't expect. What is one challenge that looked small on paper but big on execution?
In circularity, when we say we take back equipments, old equipment, end of life, or depending on the type of equipments, we take it back. We take care of the end of life management or refurbish, and then the refurbished one we can sell. So sounds quite convenient. But if I have to tell the biggest challenge that looks simple is the reverse logistics, 100%. So just taking back equipment is not as simple as it sounds, right? We have here what's happening is our customers are essentially becoming our suppliers, right? And all our tools, our logistics flow, all our systems, data, finances flow, everything is configured in a way to treat them as a customer, not as a supplier. And then they have multiple sites located across the world in different countries. So much of transformation is needed to execute or seamlessly execute such reverse logistics as I would say quite significant. But then, yes, with the help of digital technologies, with the help of transformation, and also change in mindset, we were, I would say, quite successful in implementing that. But yeah, that's the one I would say.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree with you, Siddharth. It's a big transformation and long-term transformation topic. Globally, the circular economic models itself requires a real mindset shift. Uh, Products, in fact, are not always immediately available. For example, it links to the model itself, and some customers also may have uncertainties about the quality of the product because they are circular, and that is why I think it's really important to precise to customers that the Schneider circular product that we provide in this model come with the same warranty as new ones. They are repaired, refurbished, repacked in our own factories. It's very important to know that in our own factories with our own processes, and that's to ensure a high level of quality. It's important, I think.
Yeah, yeah. For that's a very good point, Saya. And in fact, I'd say mind shift for customers, but also mind shift for our internal sales team,
Yeah,
right?
right,
I
totally.
mean, including you and I, we were so you before we joined the
Yeah.
circularity team, we were so used to sell uh, in a
Linear.
linear way, the
Yeah.
linear products where the priority was to get the order and to manage what's the lead time and all. If we exclude the exceptional circumstances, availability was not a big topic on the table, right? But here in circular, what we are driven by is we can sell what we have in our stock, right? Because we cannot produce circular. Can be refurbished, it can be done, and with being such a responsible organization, quality reliability is one of our top priorities. So we do not refurbish any equipment that we get, right? We have very strict criteria that only such kind of equipment, even in the defined um, product family, we have very strict criteria of taking equipments and then refurbishing it. So at times, and that we are in a growth phase, right? We were doing in a couple of countries, now we are expanding. So at times we have more demand than supply. At times we have, for some references, we have a good supply. So changing this kind of I would say the sales and adapting our own sales team in different countries, that guys, we can sell for sure, but we can sell what we have today. Now it's at the same time it's very important to see the demand, because based on that we can forecast more take back, we can forecast multiple things. So the change in mindset, I would say, both at customer end as well as even our internal teams at both the end is needed.
I think your example really illustrates that circularity magnifies hidden complexities. On a slide, it looks like a simple operational improvement, but in practice, it touches logistics, design assumptions, customer expectations, warranties, all the invisible threads that hold the product life cycle together.
And it also highlights something important. Scale multiplies the challenges. What seems manageable in one country becomes much harder when you add multiple regions, partners, and customer profiles. Which customer stories best illustrates the business impact?
Well, business impact, I would say almost all the stories that we have, it comes with an impact. And why? Because that has been the basis when we were developing circular offers. The impact has been one of the, I would say, essential parameters that was in the picture. That it's not just we are refurbishing it, why we are refurbishing it, what is the benefit to our partners, to our customers. Each and every circular products that we have a very defined carbon footprint. How, what is the carbon footprint, how it is different than that of linear one. If customer is buying, let's say, x percentage of circular content, how much carbon footprint they will be saving, carbon emission they will be saving there. So how it would impact their scope 3 reporting. So the impact in terms of sustainability very well defined. Now in terms of their finances, again, it depends a lot on which part of circularity they are engaged in. But I can give you an example where we were engaged with a customer on their modernization project. They were modernizing their way old install base into the more recent one, and this modernization, a part of it is still ongoing, is phased over 4 years timeline, right? Now, when they are removing their or modernizing their one first set of equipment, we were the one who are proposing, okay, we take back all of it, we do not refurbish it anyway, because the whole equipment, because it's way old, it's not being sold anymore, so we take care of the end of the life. But within that, the critical parts coming out of that equipment, we refurbish it specifically for that particular customer for the next 3 years, so that if something happens by chance for during the modernization phase, they don't need they have an option to either go for a new spare parts if it is already available, because the equipments are quite very old. Alternatively, they can take a refurbished one where they will have the financial impact as well. And anyway, they know that in next 3 years or 4 years they will be completing their modernization phase. So overall, and it's one of very important way that we are doing that, integrating circularity, different pieces of circularity in the modernization projects. It gives a very good, I would say, impact in terms of sustainability, in terms of finances, and also in terms of peace of mind for customer. Imagine someone coming in and saying, hey guys, we will take care of all the old equipment that you had. Being a responsible company, again, we follow all the rules and regulations in managing end of life. And at the same time, while we are modernizing it, we are supporting the life of the equipment until they are modernized. So that's one of them.
Yeah, and I would like to share a story. The story I think about is one in which, thanks to our offering of circular economy equipment, we won